Hi, I'm Catherine, and this is Home and Me. So today I thought we would talk about letting go of resentments. You know, I think that rituals get a bad rap, you know, when really rituals have been used throughout history as far back as we've kept track, with pagans and Christians and Wiccans and Hanukkah and Christmas and Thanksgiving and Patriots Day and opening day for the Red Sox. you know, Rituals, I think, are a wonderful way of bringing extra meaning to things, to events. It adds the juice for memories, good and bad. So, ritual, like a flammable liquid, like if we were to add something flammable to this fire, it would get big, you know. Emotional intensity, juice, if you will, brings both positive and negative to situations. Like if a stalker gives you a dozen roses, or somebody that you love gives you a dozen roses, you're both events are the same. You're getting a dozen roses, but one of them has a strong negative, creepy connotation, and one of them has a loving and a sweet connotation. So it's the same with ritual, but for this case, ritual is letting go of, this particular one is letting go of resentments, and we're using a ritual of writing it out and burning it. I typically do this once or twice a year, generally sometime in January, not necessarily January 1st, but sometime in January. I'll get my girlfriends together and we'll come here to the house and we'll write out whatever has happened in the previous year that we would like to let go of. So, fights with family members or friends, or traumas, or whatever has left like a little thorn in our being, like a little owie, and we just want to let it go. The symbology of writing it out and catching it on fire seems kind of simplistic or whatever, but it's actually pretty sweet and effective. So this is one of the tools that I thought that I would share with you today. On the other side, another thing that we do is we write what we would like to have the following year. So we write out our goals, and maybe it's a 3-month, 6-month, 8-month, 12-month goal, but we write a note to ourselves and we all put it in a self-addressed stamped envelope. And some lucky girl gets the task of sticking it in the mailbox in 6 months from that point. And then 6 months later, we get a letter to ourselves, from ourselves, to just see where we are. Are we on track for that following year? Are we being kind to ourselves? Are we doing eating right, or whatever our goal happened to be? So it's kind of a cool thing, but you can do it anytime. Right now it's July, so again, like the rest of the videos we talk about, you personalize whatever you want. I like the genie paper because I don't know, I think it makes it more effective if you use genie paper. And I'm just going to write something that's been bugging me. You know, the thing about being bugged, people can't press buttons in you that aren't already there, you know what I mean? So typically if somebody presses a button, the Buddhists say that your enemy is your Buddhist teacher, meaning that you can learn more about yourself and what's going on with you from the things that upset you. I mean, if life is going, if it's 72 sunny and you've got enough money and your friends all love you, really not going to learn, where you're wounded and what things need to be healed, right? I don't know if you've ever gotten a massage and they hit a spot and you're like, wow, I didn't know that was sore. I was totally unconscious that I hit my knee or something. Well, people who upset you show you where you need work. So I had somebody do that recently, hit a button, And sure enough, it was something about me. So I'm gonna I've done my work around it, but this would be a really nice symbolic thing for me to do. So now I've done my work around it. Somebody said something, it hurt my feelings, and my reaction was more than what the situation called for. So I had to kind of go within and see what that was about. So I've done my work around what I'm about to let go. But sometimes I don't want to let it go. Sometimes I'm self-righteous and I have every right to hang on to this grudge. This person did me wrong. And then, I carry this around. And every time I think I'm going to see that person or I think of that person, it's like this constant negative, yucky thing that I'm carrying around. Not the person who said something to me or did something to me. They're fine, It's me. I'm carrying around that grudge, So I can be right or I can be happy, you know what I mean? And home in me is about clearing the way to be comfortable in our own skin and to be happy and to be playful and passionate and enjoy this life that we have right now. And there is just no room for unnecessary grudge holding or unnecessary drama or trauma. So I'm going to let that go, happily let it go. But sometimes when I'm having that self-righteous thing, I need to really meditate on wanting to let it go, because it's a great topic with my friends. Did you know what they said? Or blah, 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 blah. It's a great distraction from doing important things in life, The story and the gossip around the yucky thing. Burn, burn. So sometimes I just have to want to let something go. So just because Catherine says, or your priest or your minister or your husband or wife or somebody says, you really need to let that go. You know what? Sometimes you just need to be with that. And one of the things that I do is I'll hold that person's face in my imagination and I wish for that person everything that I want. So I see that person's face, and at first I want to punch them. True. So I hold that person's face in my mind, and I want to wish you well, right? And then I move from that to, okay, I do want to wish you well. I wish for you to feel loved. I wish for you to feel wanted and enough. And I wish for you a job that you love and enough money and friends and health. All the things that I want for myself, I wish for that person that I resent, And I'm telling you, it's magic. Within a couple weeks, seriously, within like 14 days, if I do that every day, that feeling, that tightness in me, that resentment, that grudge that I'm holding, releases. And then I'm ready to write it on a piece of paper and let it go, So there are lots of little rituals. Writing yourself a letter and self-addressed and having a friend send that to you in a month or 6 months, or holding the person that you're upset with in your imagination and wishing them well, or writing something out on Magic Genie paper and sticking it in the fire. There's no rules to self-help. There's no rules to ritual. You can make up whatever kind of ritual you want. You can have a happy day holiday. You can have a acorn or magic rock or whatever. Whatever works for you, do it. I'm just showing you a couple of techniques that I do, but feel free to make your own. Thanks for joining me. I hope that your resentments are far and few between, and the ones you have, I hope you learn from them. Have a great day. See you next time. Bye.